Hello, this is Cara. Today I have some French yumminess for you. The title of this one is Bon Marche, which is the name of a French department store that was set up, I think it was the early 1900s, in Paris. And this was one of the magazines that they produced to market their wares. And you can see this one is in the summer of 1911. So we have a French theme going all the way through here, and I've used lots of layers throughout. So on the title page you can see I have the magazine cover here. We have a piece of French text on cardstock there, embellished with a little rose and with a number. We've got some lace between the layers. Gives it a slightly aged look. And I have added the feminine touch with the pink throughout. So if we turn to the inside the cover, we have a pocket of yummy things here. So if I take out the little bits and pieces we have in here, you can see we've layered up some quite heavy cardboard there. Heavy cardboard. We've put in some craft stock. It's just torn edges. I've added my little pocket at the bottom here with the French label, advertising label. Most of the printables I've used here are freebies. I'll mention where I come across ones that aren't. So it's a mix of printables and cardstock. So this was a freebie as well, and I changed it from trust yourself and translated that into the French, fais-toi confiance. So that tucks in there with its pink flower. We've got a young mademoiselle here who goes in the front pouch, front pocket. And I came across these lovely little envelopes, French envelopes. So they were real ones, and Ruby Pearl and XO have provided it as a printable that you can buy, a digital. So I've used quite a few of these throughout to stress the edges, and I printed on the back of them as well. So it just adds a little bit of a French flair to it. So we have our double pocket there, use of a label. Anything I thought that a woman in the 1900s in Paris would use or would see. This side I've used some coffee stained papers throughout. Some are more heavier cardstock or heavier packing papers, that type of thing. This one's a label. It was a freebie, and I've just written in Journal de, so the owner of this could put their name in here. It's just diary of. A little bit of washi to add a little bit of a feature here. I've distressed around the edges of each of these pages with distress ink. You can see here is some pretend washi. It's a paper washi that I've coloured with inks, use of a stamp, done a little bit of stenciling. So I've left plenty of journaling space in this particular journal so that whoever uses it has got plenty of room to write. Little pocket here, continuing the pinkness, and a little card It's made from commercial cardstock, and I've layered it up with some stickers that are actual stamps or pretend postcards. That one is from Temu. This one was from a Graphics 45 set, I think. And then we have some advertisements, little French advertisements that's inside that particular pocket. More of the paper washi along the bottom here, and a bit of the yellowness to reflect the colour here of the pages. Another one of those advertisements, a little piece of underwear, or should I say lingerie. It sounds more delicate, doesn't it? Some stenciling underneath here. I've used a stamp to stamp some lines on a number of pages. Another miniature addressed postcard. Some stationery I had, so I've cut out the Eiffel Tower and this, some wax. I made a wax seal, pop that in there. It's a little feature. Returning into the clothing theme down the bottom with the paper washi and the postage stamp and clothing. And we have here a little sticker, the flower. A little bit more stenciling, quite uneven edges too with the distressing. This side we have a card which was a shoe store, which looked like our corset department they've got up there, which I've added little bits and pieces to go with the theme of clothing for the French lady. This one actually is an American pretend postcard that I put a little pink flower sticker on the back, advertising hammocks. And her clothing gave me the idea, and the fact it was pink, to add her to the folder as well. So that's a side pocket there, and just tucks in. The back of that page, a little bit of stenciling. Some other papers, digitals. That one is from Victoria Designs, I believe. This one here did have books, and I've changed it to the French word livre up there. And some of the pinkish dyed paper that I had, I'd added some inks to the water. You can see more of that pinkness on this side, and some stenciling, strip of silk, and lace, just to add a little bit of femininity. It's quite lovely to look at the colours going through there, from the silk to the paper, through the different colours. Quite lovely. This little page is using all sorts of little bits and pieces. That actually was a piece of tracing paper that I'd photocopied some of my own stamping onto. And I've added this little leftover corner to make a little corner piece. That's a bit of French ephemera. One of my little envelopes here that I got from Ruby and Pearl XO. A postcard, front and back. A bit of lace and a few little papers to make it look pretty and delicate. Okay, continuing the theme, using the paper washi and the sticker here, and some stenciling and the lines. On this page we have another pocket we've made with the French Mademoiselle here. little bit of French map, and then I've actually taken the French map, I think it was in one of the magazines I get, and tore part of the map of France out. That's a piece of brown paper bag on the back, and just distressed it a bit and made it look a bit worn. And that's one of the envelopes again, so I'll tuck that there. I might put it sideways and pop that back in there. More of the same stenciling and lines. This is a collage using an English embroidery book behind, and then I've laid it up with different ephemera pieces, little flower stickers. I've added another one of the side tucks with a postcard. I tried to choose things that were French. Every now and then there's something that isn't, but and keep with the colours of the pink and the neutrals. More of the lovely stickers. I love this one. This is a little file folder which I then collaged up. It's actually just on commercial on white cardstock that I've put through the printer with a digital, and then layered it up with a cutout from my Kaisercraft cardstock, and added some of the labelling from that. So it's a few pieces, a little bit of music down here, so just to give it depth. And then inside, you've got a lovely layout of, this is from Daphne's diary, these particular photos of mannequins. This was actually white cardstock behind here, and I've put tissue from patterns, sewing pattern tissue, on here, and then stamped with a French stamp I have all over, so it fills in that, you don't see all that whiteness. And then I've just done this free collage on it, adding some more illustrations and some of the advertisements that I think some of these may be from the old design shop. This one's there. A little collage here with the chair with the hat boxes on the top. That was quite fun, that. And I've just tucked that in so you could journal underneath. Tuck that in that under the paper clip. Over the page here we have a belly band. Tucked a couple of little things. That's just a piece of stationery for journaling. We've got our pretty paper here that I had from one of the printables. I'm not sure. I've wrapped around the envelope here of this one just to break into the solid colour, and popped it under there, and we'll put, I don't know why I'm going that way, yeah, and we'll put it and we'll tuck it in behind that paper clip and pop that back in. A little bit of cardstock with some lace over the top. A little bit of lavender picking up there, lavender colour coming from that side with the stenciling. Some more stickers here with the pink flowers, little bits and pieces to make a pocket here. Some more ephemera I've tucked in here, some coffee dyed papers there that had a pattern on them, and I've coffee dyed them. These are just some of the, added some French stamps I had, and just to give it a bit more depth again. And two ladies with the journal on the back. So they pop in there. pretty flowers to the top. There we go. Okay, this is the centre of the, it's just the one signature in this book. And we've got a piece of lovely lace down the side to form a pocket. And then we have, oh, we don't want to see that little bit, that's just a card I had in there. We have a luggage label, another little envelope. And at this time I've glued the edges of the envelope and tucked a little piece of pretty paper in it. This is another little receipt from a grocer's. I think that came from the old design shop too. Just to add a little bit of interest. The pocket there. Tuck them in. Nice floral cutout. Very pretty. It's a Tim Holtz one, or that one, I think. This is another side pocket here, where I've tucked in a few things. Breathe deeply, or just breathe, I should say. A few little, I like the hats, so I didn't want to break up that lovely look. So I've left the hats there. It's another one of our letters. And this was a pretty page showing little bonnets, and mainly bonnets and ruffles, blouses, etc. And they tailor in Paris. And they just tuck back in there. You can use the back of that one too for journaling. Here we've got another coffee dyed page with some lines and stenciling. One of the pockets, the tuck spots that you can tuck upwards using some of the free postcards that are out there. And I made up, this was a little freebie as well, and then I made up a little ticket slot for it. And just put that in there for a flash of colour. In there. We have this lovely lady, some gorgeous fabric, some lace over the top, and then the lovely pink fabric underneath. Another one of my envelopes, and this is a free card with a rub on that I put there, which look rather adorable. We have another torn edge side pocket here with some other papers matching the yellows, a check. Added a sticker there to pull out the yellow daisy, and there's another one of our envelopes. These are some tags I picked up in a shop in Beechworth of different views of Paris. This one's the Notre Dame. So I've used the tag as a side tuck, along with another one of our little letters, and just some coffee stained paper. Put it in that way. Some coffee stained paper, and then tuck that in like that. It's another one of the tags I had that serves as a side tuck, and a couple of the letters. Tried to match the colours of the stamps to the letters. More of the pink dyed papers. More old worldy. Little bit of napkin I put there, which sort of worked, but not quite. But you can't really tell it's been grunged up enough. You've got a letter. You've got another cute little scrappy bit made up of bits and pieces, and Paris on the front there. Good old paper doily, a bit of distress ink on it. Another one of the Timu stickers. Some paper lace here with some washi. Some pretty flowers. A label from a L'Occitane product. This side we've got our little label there, tag. Under here we have some more of our envelopes and a little coin envelope that I'd put some papers on that had, I hope that's not too shiny, that had some advertisements on it, and on that side I just did a little collage, little stickers I had, and a rub-on. Put that there and tuck that under there, just to make a little feature, and you can take them out and still write underneath. Almost through. This is another one of my tags. Bit of coffee dyed paper with the French stamp, and then a little bit of blue with that stamp on the envelope. On the very inside of the back cover we have a double layered pocket here. We've got the layered up scraps again. I bound it and put in some muslin here. So put in little bits and pieces. Tuck them in just for a visual effect more than anything. Made this little tiny, had that little thing and a stamp. Made up this little tiny envelope, or little pocket I suppose it is. I can go there. Can go in there, and we have, we had that out, didn't I? And then that's just one of the advertisements. Mainly just playing on colours. Added a stamp here and a bit of a flower, and then we have the back with the front cover of another magazine, La Mode Pratique. The similar era in Paris, did a bit of stamping on it, and you can see there we've got some linen and then some lace, and then we have this French printed cardstock, and I've camouflaged the binding so that I've put another layer of Dublin silk over the top, and then another piece of lace, so you can't see the binding from the outside. And there you have it, my very French junk journal. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you'll make one similar for yourself. Enjoy.